Hello, everyone. My name is Kyle.
I'm
Alex.
It's Tony.
And we are Pseudo Adults. Hello, and welcome to episode 160 of the Pseudo Adults program.
Hit that 160 mark.
Yeah, you're going real fast. You got to slow down.
I know. I'm trying.
But with that said, this is a podcast that you can find anywhere that you find podcasts. And if you want to watch us in the video form, become a YouTube Space Zamboni member, and you can watch us. We're here. Look at us.
Oh my god.
It's true. We're in the flesh.
Yeah. We're not holograms.
Jenny and the holograms.
Oh.
You could go to youtube.com/Space Zamboni. We also have a whole bunch more podcasts and stuff like that. So if you like hearing us in your ears, you can also listen on Apple Music and Apple Podcast, right?
Apple everything.
This podcast is a song.
You could listen to an Apple and be like, oh my god, there's a podcast.
Just poke a straw into an apple and say, I want to listen to Space Zamboni, and then listen to what it says back.
Screaming at the apple. Why aren't you working? Yeah. And if it doesn't play it, it's broken. Buy another one.
Then go to youtube.com/Space Zamboni.
At the Apple Store.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the Apple Store.
The Apple Store.
Hell yeah,
Maybe your local shop, right? King, the Bread Lion.
Stop and Shop.
Stop and Shop. Lidl.
Kroger's.
Yeah.
It's the name of every grocery store we can think of.
Whole Foods.
Oh.
And if you're a pop culture fan, you want to level up in life, check out Inner Warrior. And if you are transitioning to an IT career, check out Inner Tech Warrior.
Whoa, bruh.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. All right, so we got some nice topics, and I think we could also like kickstart the episode with some like kind of like updates on what everyone's like up to these days. What's happened, you guys?
So, as Space Zamboni is trying to like continue doing the content we're doing, as you can see, we're gonna try to do some more member only stuff, and we're like slowly starting to dive into like a new world, and in terms of game development and stuff like that. So we've had like the Space Zamboni Fighting Dream game that we've been doing for like a long time, and Mark has been on board with helping us with that, and we decided to like, okay, let's keep that as like a big time goal, like that's the one when you want to get it done as like a check mark down the road, and let's do like a smaller project so we could have something out there and start like building ourselves up in that like studio kind of aspect. So we've had like several meetings now where we had like a whole pitch deck of everyone coming up with ideas and being like, all right, well, what about this? So what about this? And stuff like that. And we finally came down to like the top 3 that we're going to begin the process on. So I think that's a cool step that we've walked into.
Yeah. So is it sort of like, so it's like new from the ground up, and like you'd like figure out like how to approach as opposed to the game ideas that are like in a current stage of development?
Yeah. So it basically started from like literally us sitting together and being like, all right, if anyone has any brainstormed ideas, like bring it in, and if there's something that you've wanted to work on or thought about, like bring it in. And then from there we just had like a Google Doc of, all right, these are a whole bunch. Then I said to everybody, I'm like, okay, pick 2 instead of like having all these, like just pick 2 that you would like want to do the most, and like make like pitches for them. And then we had the actual pitch meeting the other day, and then we narrowed down those. So we had like 6 in total. They were like, okay, now let's pick which one's too hard. Let's move that aside, like, and stuff like that. It was cool. It was a lot of fun to start something like that, I guess.
Very good. Very nice.
In terms of the game, so these are like the short-term goal games. So what are you thinking of in terms of like length and stuff of the game?
It depends on the project, because we're going to be doing like 6-month sprints. So if it's something, and we're also going to be comparing it to like other titles that are out there, right, and kind of like find the sweet groove of where we want it to go. But yeah, just depending on the style of game. And then we have like the project leads who are going to be, we're going to be doing everything in Unity. So those are going to be like the developers of stuff. And then kind of like manage each individual project. But it's cool.
Very good. Matt, do you have any updates?
We worked on some shorts.
We did.
Oh wow!
We did voice recording, and you're doing the animation.
Is this new like a continuation of like a series, or I don't want to be specific if you're not being specific.
I think we could be specific.
Kind of like the Nathan for You.
Yeah. How we did the what was your
payload?
No, it was very much like the same style as the Nathan for You.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah,
where it's like a 1 minute short parody of like something.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, I mean, the only thing it has in common is it's a parody of something, but it's an animated.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Nice.
What, you want to bring up which one of them that we recorded? Because they're both, I think, really funny.
There, we have Mike Ehrmantraut being murdered, but when he's getting out of the whole meth game, he's going into Kandai Gamai Yumai videos. Yumai Kandai Gumai.
Yeah. So, because Bridget had, and I think this is neat because we don't really have like a behind the scenes and stuff. I want to work on that too. But Bridget kept on saying like Kandai Gumai Yumai.
And then she put on the video
during Fit for Thoughts.
Yeah, but that was like a blast from the past because we remembered seeing that video years ago.
Yeah.
And we were like,
it doesn't ring a bell to me.
Yeah,
it doesn't ring a bell to me.
It didn't click up until the video started playing. We were like, oh my God. And that was like her favorite video.
It literally goes, Pete Rat Gumai Kandai Gumai. And it's just this guy reviewing like a gummy pet rat.
Yep.
Oh.
What?
But talking weird like that. The entire video.
Is this like early YouTube like era?
It has 17 million views. Which is, I don't know how early.
Yeah.
I think it was like around the time that like Vine and TikTok started. Maybe Vine, because I think they shortened that clip too, and that was very popular everywhere too.
Gotcha.
So now it's just Mike Ehrmantraut.
Yeah.
He's like,
"Did you see this? This is all I'm doing now."
Yeah, watching Pete Rat Gumai Kandai videos.
Why did I waste my life with all that shit?
That sounds good.
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
Who's voicing Mike? Very good.
Matt Mike. Yeah.
Nice. I don't know, Tony. I mean, obviously, you've been working hard on stuff, as you say at the beginning of every episode. I mean, I've been kind of curious. Like, you spend months like preparing on stuff, so
yeah. So if anybody hasn't already noticed, I slowed down on I haven't done any new YouTube videos for Inner Warrior, and it's because I've been working on Inner Tech Warrior, trying to find it's all a process of trying to find like the right target market fit, like my skills, what value can I give to people, and so that's where I came up with the idea of Inner Tech Warrior, where it's I transitioned from a police officer into the IT field, and I wish I had help back then to get into that field, because there was a lot of like, I don't know what to study. I don't know what to focus on. And should I get a new degree? Should I get a certificate? And all that kind of stuff. But I didn't need a new degree. I didn't need a certification. And I got into the IT field, and I know that other people can do the same thing. So my goal is to try to help those people who really want to transition and get into that field to be able to get into that field without having to spend crazy money on a new degree or boot camp or certificate, any of that stuff, certification.
Yeah, I mean, isn't it like the top of like it's like, especially like the modern last few years, like the top most desirable jobs to have are in the IT industry. And I guess maybe it's one thing if you're like fresh out of high school and already have your sights set on it, but if you've already sort of like found yourself like falling into another career, I imagine it's a whole other thing, because you're in that situation of like, what do I enroll into college? Like I'm finishing high school, and what do I do? So that's really cool. And now that I hear you kind of like say that out loud, I get it. I mean, I think it's important, like once you find your way into something, to do what you can to make it so other people can have an easier time, like the best you can. So that's great. I'm not doing anything like that.
You're joining the circle.
I try to make it harder for people.
Oh, okay.
I'm joining the circle.
Yeah.
bro.
Hashtag Kandai Gumai.
Yeah, send. Yeah, that's all I'm doing. I'm just watching The Circle full time now. It's all I have time for in my life. And it's mostly because of like, let's just fucking get through this season so I can watch something else. Because that 90s show's waiting for me. That new Harrison Ford Apple TV Plus show's waiting for me. And that trial's gonna end before I get to watch it. So, no, I think we got to like March maybe. But so I'm like, yeah. That 90s show will probably have to wait because like we gotta watch Harrison Ford be a therapist
and jump on a trampoline.
You got some fucking mental problems.
No, he doesn't jump on the trampoline.
What? Oh yeah,
he
he's the
walks
grouchy
in.
guy. Be like, what the hell are you doing?
But what if that's a season finale where he jumps on the trampoline?
Oh shit.
I don't need to watch this damn show.
I'm not jumping on that trampoline.
I'm gonna jump on the trampoline.
Okay, I'm jumping on the trampoline.
That's his character arc.
He should be on the trampoline.
Come on, let's jump together.
This is good.
I was watching a Late Show interview with Jason Segel, and he was saying how I don't know why he thought it would be a cool idea, like I don't know, after like getting to meet Harrison Ford, and I don't know if it was like the first day on set or whatever, early on to their shooting process, he decided to wear a what do you call it, like a
Han Solo,
like a body suit, like a full body, whatever. Is that what it's called? I feel like that's the wrong term, but whatever.
Well,
essentially one and the same, and then he starts like talking to Harrison Ford about like running their lines and stuff, and then he realizes Harrison Ford keeps looking at his clothes, and he's like, "It's like, is it the body?" And he's like, "Yeah, it's very interesting.
I want one.
Yeah, let me have yours."
And then that was the why it was on a late night conversation. It's because the next day he shows up wearing a pink one, and they took a picture together. I'm like, it must be such an interesting guy. Yeah, when he's not crashing airplanes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
looks so comfortable.
Or bleeding when he's nervous.
Yeah, I guess I should admit I've been sort of in a like not super enthusiastic about music. I've been like I feel like the enthusiasm climbs and declines, and I've been in the decline lately, and I'm hoping I'll be out of it soon. I think I will be, because I've been enjoying playing the PlayStation stuff, and I know I should be getting The Last of Us next, but I feel like since I still don't know anything about it, I'm not that excited to do it. I'm like, oh, maybe it's a sign I should take that opportunity and jump back into music. I've been finalizing I don't know the terminology, like re-equalizing and finalizing my rock opera stuff.
Nice.
And I think I'm probably more than halfway through that stuff, and I think it's just not the most exciting part of the process. Like writing and recording new songs is fun, and it's been interesting to note how like every time I look back, I'm like, oh shoot, I do things differently now. Like it's like I used to just kind of record music and like try and tweak the levels and stuff like that, and the whole EQing thing was kind of like intimidating to me, and now it's getting to be more second nature. It's like you kind of the program that I use, you kind of click the high end, and you realize that when it's too high, it starts hurting your ears, and like the low end and everything in between, and I was just like, I wouldn't even know how to approach doing this. Like, might as well leave it kind of in the middle where it defaults. And now I'm just like, no, that's not the right thing to do. And it's almost becoming second nature to just kind of click around and bullshit it, to like be like, okay, this sounds the best here. This sounds the best here. And you do that when you're setting up your track. So it's sort of done from the get go, and you don't need to do it later. So all the later songs, like the last new song I did, there's two of the later ones. One was called Some Bad Whiplash, and the Stranger Initially. Those are the last two songs I wrote, even though they're like, one's like the third song in order, and the other one's like somewhere in the middle. Those are like the ones that I recorded this, like I was going through the process of finalizing songs when I was like, okay, I hit like the part where it's like, okay, this song isn't done yet. I need to figure out what part to tell this story in some way, and so I used kind of like those skills that I was starting to gather to write those songs, and I was like, shit, I should have been doing that all along. And so I've been sort of fixing up the other songs, and that part of just like going through everything, re-EQing everything. And you probably know that I had a MIDI drum set at one point, like actual like physical drum set, electronic, that seemed like the coolest thing at the time. And now in retrospect, I'm like, it sounds silly. Like, I'm not a drummer. It sounds off a lot. So I've been sort of redoing all the drums on those songs too. And on the program that I'm using, I still use the MIDI for it, but it's actual MIDI now. It's not like recorded like through audio cables and like any other instrument. So I've been redoing all that stuff, and it's just tedious and long, and it's not my favorite thing. I'm not a drummer by trade, so that's been like the part that's sort of holding me up. I'm on a song that I always thought was kind of nice, but I feel like there's so many other songs I have on it that I like more. I'm not going to throw which song it is under the bus, because it's like, it'd be cool if other people dig it. Maybe like, oh, you know what, this song is sweet. But I think every song that I've kind of felt that way about before, I'd be like, oh, I've written better stuff. Like by the time I got through like the finalizing process, I was like, oh no, this is actually like kicks ass and it's fun, and I like this song. So I think I'm going to get to that point with this song as well. But it's just sort of like the drums were tedious, and there's still like everything sounds slightly off. I need to figure out how to line up everything to make everything sound like it's right on the mark and as it should be. And then I still need to like probably redo all my vocals because I have a different microphone now, and then move on to the next song. So that's where I'm at with my music these days. And I think that's my priority. Like, I want to work on more comedy songs. We have a lot of comedy songs that are in progress. That I want to keep working on as well. And maybe once I finish this ambitious project, figure out another ambitious project to do. Maybe not quite as ambitious. Like, I like getting things done and like and the idea of putting them out. I'm still struggling to think of a band name for myself. I don't want to use my name in it. I don't know. So that's another thing. I thought of an album title.
Nice.
I believe the album title will be called Flowers and Cheap Dates.
Awesome.
But yeah, so that's an ongoing thing. I've only been struggling to think of a band name for the last like 10 years. So any day now.
Just Chat GPT.
Oh my God.
But I think there's a few lessons for just anybody listening in what you said, and I just want to bring it out for other people to hear and stuff. It's so one of the things you mentioned is like how, you know, I like to call it, there's like seasons of things, right? So like you were in a season where you're like just enjoying the PlayStation and doing all that, right? Like that's a normal thing. Like, people have seasons, and then and now you're saying like how you want to take advantage of this next season for yourself, and your next season would be going back to the music and stuff. And I think that if you look at life more of that way, instead of just saying like, oh, you know, I always have to be doing this thing, it's like, no, life isn't like that. Like, people's what do you call it? Like, people change what they like. They change, like, there's seasons in life, right? So I think that's just an important lesson right there. The next lesson that from what you said was like, just sometimes you know, you level up in life, right? So like you were saying, you go back to your old music and you're now leveling up the music with the new skills that you've obtained. And at the next lesson that I heard from that was when you said that you know, it's tedious, right? Like you get first when you create the song, it's like the exciting part, right? But then after that, it's like now it's the tedious part of like improving it and all that stuff. But it's what's interesting is like if you look at I'm gonna use the allegory of business, right? The boring businesses are the ones that make money, right? Like, because that's when it's boring is the point where like, okay, I got through my uncomfortable phase of doing this new thing. Now it's to the point where it's like, okay, now I got to just keep improving. And sometimes that's boring, but because it's boring doesn't mean that it's the wrong thing to do, right? So you have to use that feeling of like, oh, it's boring, but there's an end goal to it. So it's almost like you can either have, so there's people say like there's shiny object syndrome, right? Like, so you have one thing that you're working on, you're like, oh, this is cool and stuff, and like, okay, now it's boring, but you don't finish it, and then it's like, oh, there's this other thing I want to try, so this is a new thing. But it's like, if you just stick with a thing that was boring, that has a better chance of succeeding than if you were to keep trying another new thing and not finishing any of them, right? So I think that's just another lesson for people listening also. So yeah, I think it's just listening to like the journey of all of you guys and what you guys do. There's actually a lot of lessons that people can take away from it.
Yeah, see that? And the only other thought I had about the music that I'm doing right now is I just need to get this done because the eventual final. I want to make another purchase of regards to music, and it's something I read online that the program that I use does their big sales like in September, and I was really looking for it in like October. I was like, shh, I just missed it.
Damn.
Supposedly.
Damn.
So
Electric tambourine.
yeah.
Tambourine.
No, it's basically like I have the is it like the next version up from like the really basic one. Like I have like the really like base level program, and I've been looking up all these cool features of the program. There's like this really cool dude that does all these YouTube video tutorials on how like you could generate harmonies and stuff automatically. I'm like,
wow.
My program could do that. That's sick. And I look for like, where's the feature? They don't say it is the pro version in the YouTube video, and then I'm just like, where is it? And like, this feature is only available in Cubase Pro. Like,
Damn.
and even to upgrade from the version I already paid a good chunk of money for is a big chunk of more money.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm hoping that they do that annual sale again, and I'll just be patient and wait for it then. But that sounded like a cool concept where, like, you know, coming up with your own harmonies is sometimes harder than other times, and it's like, say it's like, sure, it'll generate something, it'll probably sound a little bizarre and strange to like have like a transposed version of your voice like overlaying with the other, but I would just use that as a guide.
Exactly.
And be like, if we're doing a song together, I mean, I could record a spec version myself, but basically be like, we're going to mimic this or like use this part and then maybe like change this part about it, and it'd be another cool tool, and I think would really help whatever the next wave of our music is. And that was just one feature of many. That this is gonna sound like me like trying to explain like it's like, you know, in techno music or like really poppy music these days, when that bass hits, everything kind of goes like quiet like with it. It's like they don't want to have too many like high ends, low ends at the same time. That's like a feature that they only have in like the advanced version as well. And it has a name, it has a whole terminology, and I don't remember off the top of my head, but I was just like, I've been trying to I've done like 3 electronic songs separately that I've been enjoying as well, and I've been interested in doing more of that in the future as well. And so I was like, I'm hoping that it sort of is the next wave of the music I'm working on.
You're gonna fill that Avicii hole?
Maybe.
Sweet.
No, I'm not going
Damn.
to. It's not going to be anywhere as cool. It's the same music that I'm doing. It just is, instead of guitar-y, it's synth electronic-y. I don't even know what to call it. Like, it's not
Kivici. Kyle
Avicii.
Kyle Avicii.
Everyone,
Kavici.
no one will have an issue with that. A beloved musician taken too soon from us.
Nah.
I am Kavici.
Yeah.
Now it
You're
is
the
me.
second coming.
The Q is
Kavici
silent.
died.
Just like the Pope.
Yeah.
They start sprouting out there like white smoke from the
he-
EDM concert. They're
It's
like,
me.
he's come.
Hey, that would go viral.
Yeah.
I think I would be assassinated.
No, that's why you have the Kyle Mobile.
Yeah.
It's like the Pope Mobile. But we renamed it.
But the EDM machine. Machine.
That'll be 50% off too. Good.
Yeah, it's on the site.
Good. Sweet. Looking forward to that.
Now we just got to find a way to make like a permethrin kind of bodysuit. That way scabies doesn't spread all around from you people dancing to your music, and we'll be golden.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Most people don't think that far ahead.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's true.
But you'll be the first one to have
Yeah,
it.
it's
Be like,
innovation.
Yeah,
permethrin sunscreen.
it's like that one KKK member who thought ahead about the bed bugs with the sheets.
Whoa.
Mhm.
Oh my god. Yeah.
All right. So there you go. We've given our full Pseudo Adults update. That's what episode 160 should be all about for any podcast.
Yep.
Every 10 episodes.
Yeah, sure. Oh yeah, is that like the anytime there's a 0 at the end and we remember? State of the Union. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Now it's update time, baby.
Those are the 2 caveats. It's got to end in 0, and we have to remember.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I guess there has to be something to say too.
Yeah.
And we're like, it's kind of status quo.
But yeah.
That'd be 10 weeks though, right? I hope it's not a status quo in 10 weeks. Like, guys, it's been 10 awesome weeks. No update.
Nothing happened.
Yeah. Those things are still those things.
Yeah.
Yeah. That Mike skit's coming together great.
Yeah, I can't wait for you guys to see the Mike Ehrmantraut skit.
Mike Spermantraut.
Yeah.
Spermantraut?
Yeah. I say sperm and shout.
Mm.
Oh.
Sperm and shout. Sperm and shout.
So the DC universe is still trying to release some movies, even though it's getting some form of a something reboot. And I don't know if it's a reboot or if it's just to be determined. We're supposed to get some details about it this month from Mr. Gunn, apparently, right?
Whoa.
We'll see.
Yeah, I heard January was the update month.
Do they have a gun to their heads?
A James gun to there.
Yeah,
bruh.
a Jimmy Gunn.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so the Shazam 2 Fury of the Gods trailer just came out. We literally just watched it before starting this recording, so it's all fresh in our heads.
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
Started from the bottom, now we're
whole
here.
team.
Oh, what they said. Yeah. The whole team, yeah. I don't know. What do you guys have to say? It looks like a movie.
It looks
like
action-packed.
Yeah.
There's dragons in it.
Yeah.
And it makes me feel like Daenerys Targaryen's going to make an appearance. It's going to be like
He
that
said
Space
Khaleesi,
Jam
did you
movie.
hear him?
No,
Yeah,
damn it.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, that woman did kind of look like an old Khaleesi. It's like she got snapped right out of the whole thing and thrown in there, but like 20 years later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She's like, wait, what am I doing here?
I guess that's the concept. Like someone's like, you've awakened me, and I'm taking this back from you, and
Yeah.
I'm Helen Mirren. I'm a dame.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess.
Foxy.
Yeah, we got two. It implies we got two villainous women in this movie.
Femme fatales.
Mhm.
Oh. That's what the movie's about?
Yeah, it's actually what it's called.
Wow.
Shazam, Femme Fatales.
I kept reading it, The Furry Gods.
Wow.
I was like, oh, damn, he's going to finally accept the furry culture.
The
I mean, he's a
furriest gods.
teenager.
True.
It's about the time you get into furry stuff.
That's true. That would be. They probably don't want to give that away in the trailer.
Yeah.
I remember when I was 15 and bought my first Freddy Fazbear Fursona suit.
Yeah.
It was hot.
Yeah,
You walked around with that.
I was there with you. I remember.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know,
Good
crazy.
times.
I lent you $0.25, so you didn't have quite enough money, and I had to take it out of my fuzzy wallet.
Like, don't worry, I'll get it back later from my hose.
Oh
My
yeah,
pimp stable strong.
high
Pimp
school.
stable?
Yeah.
Like horses?
What were the first two letters of that? Yeah, high school was kind of strange when you think about it. Yeah.
It's always different when you look back.
Yeah.
Yep.
Never forget that time that a bunch of dragons came into like our hometown and destroyed everything. It was nuts.
Yeah. No, that was
Yeah.
frustrating.
Yeah, like there goes the neighborhood.
Yeah. Oh my god.
But we still have to do our homework.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the whole like town was covered in a giant contact lens, like plasma dome.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Yeah.
insane.
And we kept touching the outside, being like, I guess we're not getting
I
out.
want to get out.
Yeah.
I want to be home.
And Matt Groening kept looking at us through the other side
Yeah.
and scratching his chin like he had an idea from
Yeah,
it. And we're like,
yeah.
leave us alone.
It's like, do
Yeah.
you know how to get us out of here? Or
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Shazam 2 trailer, all I wanted out of Shazam 2, which I don't know if I'm going to get, is it just to be like a sneaky in continuation of the show Chuck. That's all I previously knew Zachary Levi from, and it was a wonderful show. And I just want that show to continue, even though it's been gone for 15 years now.
Chuck.
Chuck was good.
Well, now we got Chuck Tingle.
That's true.
Oh, that's true. I've been watching the Space Zamboni podcast. And,
There you go.
yeah. I'm more partial to Sir Richard.
Yes.
Yeah. Schmeggleton?
Yeah. Is there any other?
Nah. No other Richards.
Yeah.
Probably.
They don't matter.
No.
Mm-mm.
It doesn't matter.
All right. So Tony,
Yes.
you've been rewatching this series of movies, which I know are kind of
Yeah.
controversial. So
And I hear they're not very popular.
Yeah, they're not very popular. They've been more controversial as of lately because of the author public opinions, which unfortunately have she can't keep them to herself.
Yep.
As I mean, I guess one thing to have, and it's another thing to just like not shut up about it. And that we don't need to talk about that so much. Just so Harry Potter trigger warning. Tony and Rachel have been rewatching the Harry Potter films.
Yes.
First of all, Tony.
Yes.
To my understanding, you have never been the largest fan of Harry Potter, if that's fair to say.
That is fair.
I feel like I'm like the lawyer, and you're just like on the witness. You're on the stand. Is that accurate to say?
That is an accurate statement. Yes.
Furthermore, Your Honor, so is I think it might have been in our previous podcast episode. Is you're rewatching it because of the video game that's coming out soon?
Yep. Rachel wanted to rewatch all the movies because the game's coming out and she's super excited about the game. Yep.
Okay.
Hype beast.
Yeah, but has she even read the books?
I have no idea.
Whoa! You missed a lot of Quidditch if you don't read the books.
You missed out. The books are great.
The books are really good.
There is a
better
lot,
than the movie.
and the Quidditch is good.
Yeah, the Quidditch has a lot of action, and then there's Dumbledore being like, "You put your name in the cup of fire."
Yes,
That's from the book too?
those two things. Yeah, you're missing all
Put
that.
it in the.
They had a lot more depth to Dumbledore in the books and his family and
Really?
his
And
character.
his love life.
No, really.
Mm-hmm. And about him making out with a bunch of people. He makes out with Hagrid and Hagrid.
There's a lot of snogging.
Snape and Hagrid.
Snagrid. That's why they have a nice sandwich together.
And a giant arachnid spider in the woods. And Hagrid. He's like, "Oh, this is a wild beast, a boy. Come on, let's get on my griffin. And let's open that door."
You talk like how. I remember you just made it come back to me how they would write Hagrid's dialogue, and he had like such a speech impediment.
Yeah.
And he never really had that in the movies, but your version of it is very book accurate. You know this man read the books.
Yeah. He knows his stuff.
"Come on, Harry, you better leave my house. Dumbledore's coming, boy." You know things are gonna get hot and spicy then.
Harry gets his invisibility cloak.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, golly."
Yeah, I'll walk out right now.
And then Dumbledore's like looking at the map, and he's like, "Oh, there's some spies afoot. Oh, fuck." There's some Death Eaters around.
I was gonna say, you remember, well, if it was like the first or the second Harry Potter movie, Dumbledore's able to just see him. He's just like, he looks right at
gets
him.
a quirky little smile, and he's like,
"Ugh."
"There's some spies around."
And he's just like, "Oh, Hagrid."
Making direct eye contact with them.
Hagrid, bend me over. Bend me over in this direction. And I'm like, "Oh, golly."
That's all he says.
Yeah.
Why is your corner speaking?
The golly corner. "Oh, there's some pocket spiders in there. Golly, golly."
Oh my god.
Yeah. So has that been your experience? With
Yeah, just like that. No, so I think the reason why I was never really a big fan is because I have a problem with like when anything's like magic related, there's no clear rules of like the magic itself.
Midichlorians.
Yeah, like that's a good example too. Like even with like the Jedis, there's a lot of like just magic. Like it's like it's so those kind of things. Like it's hard for me to get behind sometimes because like I brought this up last time we talked about it, where Harry Potter and they had like that car that was sentient, and I'm like, okay, so they have technology. Why aren't they using technology? And like they have candles everywhere and stuff, and then there's the guy who comes in and the guy I don't remember, there's the teacher that comes in during the Goblet of Fire movie, right? and he's got that robot eye.
Oh,
Mad Eye
yeah.
Moody.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as soon as the guy appeared on screen, I told Rachel that better not be a robot eye, because they act like they don't have technology, and then this guy comes in with a robot eye. I'm like, what is going on
It's
here?
like a magical eye.
Yeah, it's mad steampunk.
Yeah,
bro.
it's steampunk. Oh, shit, no.
Does it do anything?
It looks at you.
yeah, it looks at stuff. I
yeah.
guess. Yeah.
Oh, like, it's not that magical. It's
No.
just the term is
Bi-technical.
entranced.
Bi-technical.
Yeah.
It's charmed.
Yeah.
Charmed. It's a charmed technological device.
They stole it from Lucky.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It
It
was
probably
one of Lucky's charms.
It's probably like a direwolf eye or whatever. I don't think they have direwolves. That's like a wolf's eye or something that they kind of like stuck on some like leather and strapped to his face with some
But
sort of
it made, like,
enchantment.
Techno noise, right? Did it make like robot noises? I remember it making robot
did,
noises.
roll around.
And then I think they showed his vision one time, and it was like something out of RoboCop, where he had like that kind of thing. And I'm like, what is going on here? And then so the other things, that the teleportation, right? They have the was it shoot flute, right?
Oh,
And so then, but there's other people that teleport without a shoot flute.
Those are the better, more
love that noise.
magical magicians.
And then the other things with the shoot flute, they had to say where they're going, and like Harry messes up, and it was the second movie, and then
You're way more
They don't-
up to date on the movies. You definitely don't ask which
movie? Yeah.
The fourth one.
Yeah.
yeah. Try me.
But then, so then, like, he says the wrong place, and he shows up the wrong place.
Oh, yeah.
But then they don't say anything for the rest of the time.
They all laugh at him. They're like, that stupid ass laugh. And he's like, oh my.
Yeah.
Oh, golly.
Oh, golly.
Oh God!
His classic catchphrase.
Yes, and then Dumbledore just makes eye contact again.
I see you, Harry.
Yeah.
And then the whole point I was talking about, like the wands, right? Like, why did they need wands when there's other ones who don't need wands? And then why do they need to say the name of the spell when sometimes they don't say the name of the spell?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's so many
That way you could deflect
inconsistencies.
it or something. I don't know.
I feel like
You have the fans
at least
too.
two of those, I think the books make effort to explain. I don't know if the movies do. After like when Harry's in his second or final year at Hogwarts, there are the actual like you'll maybe it was like Defense Against the Dark Arts, because obviously if you've never seen the movies or whatever, they start having to take those matters into their own hands, like and then they're like, obviously the Death Eaters and like the more experienced wizards are able to do these spells without saying anything, and we're here like giving our it's like a big weakness that we have against them in this fight is like they're going to hear everything we say and then be able to prepare for it. So we need to hone in on those skills, and it is an actual like skill that that they can improve, and it's like a craft that they need to perfect, and they just really struggle with it.
They mentioned that in the book?
Oh yeah,
Oh, wow.
a lot, yeah. And the other thing that I don't remember that much about the whole teleportation thing. I think the sense I had was it is a very high. It's a skill of like the most like advanced like wizards that are like maybe the ones that like go. What do they call the guys that hunt the Death Eaters that like Harry wanted to be when he grew up? He wanted to be an auror. Is that what it was?
Oh.
Anyways, I just thought it's like that's another like big wizarding skill to be able to do stuff like that. So like the Death Eaters are like badass and they could do that shit, but then like the everyday guy going to work at the Ministry of Magic is like, I don't want to do that shit. I'm just gonna go to the chimney and chuck some powder in, or whatever they do in the toilets in that movie.
Oh yeah, flush themselves down the toilet. I was like, what? So wait, what do like regular people go in those toilets though? Like, do they flush themselves down there?
Oh,
Like, what you know what I mean? Like, what was the difference between him flushing himself and anyone else?
I don't
He's
know.
magical.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he didn't make any magic. He didn't say any magic thing or do any magic thing.
He thought it.
Said it with his
He's
ass.
like, I'm a magical turd. I could get flushed
yeah.
out.
He say it
Say a little poem and then
yeah. Think it.
He just got
Yeah. It just senses your magical midichlorians and it sends you where you need to go. So isn't there then a day just take a big old stinky shit and the next person steps on it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Didn't love everything about it. Can't defend it all.
But yeah, I guess that. So maybe the books like quell some of the inconsistencies that I see in the movies. But yeah, just like watching the movies, I'm like, there's so many, and then like I feel like every beginning of the movies, like so far, there's just some random shit that happens that like it's just like, what? Why is this here? Like, what is going on here? Like with the bus, they're in the bus that squeezes itself, and there's like the talking head, and like that's never brought up again. It's just like a random thing that just happened.
They have like one magical new thing per book or movie, and they're like, wow,
don't use magic in front of the muggles.
Yeah, and that's another whole thing. Wait a second. Okay, so he made like, what was this, ants or something fly in the air? And became all like that bubble thing, right? Yeah. And everybody sees it and stuff, and then he gets in trouble, but he doesn't get in trouble.
On the wrist,
right? But then the next time he gets in trouble big time, and I forgot what he did that time.
He gets a little slap on the wrist.
No, the next time he got more in trouble. They were like gonna kick him out. He had to go to the council or whatever.
You're gonna be expelled, and we're gonna put your wand up our ass.
Yeah. That was because of the what are those things called? The
Dementor.
Was attacking his brother or his stepbrother or whatever it was. Yeah, well, yeah, he's adopted though, right? Isn't he? By his uncle and aunt. Oh, they're just his guardians.
Oh, I mean, well, he's adopted, but he's related to his aunt. His aunt is his actual aunt, so that's his cousin.
Okay, so his cousin, he's protecting his cousin from the Dementor, and then he gets in trouble for that. Meanwhile, a whole bunch of people saw his aunt flying around, and that was like, oh, you're fine.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
You're not supposed to protect your brother when a Dementor's making out with them, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, the guy already kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you use your magic for bad.
But wasn't that when the ministry was sort of becoming kind of dirty? Like,
I thought that happened in that movie.
Maybe you're right. But I think it started then. Like, Umbridge was on that council, and like she was just like, she was like, I want to be home.
That's why she's like,
I'm gonna go to the school now because now I have to be a professor there, and I'm part to be the dark arts person. But
wasn't she around before that movie? Because I remember seeing her in a different.
She was, I think, in 2 movies.
Really?
Yeah.
Something.
I thought she just kind of like,
she was a bitch.
I just thought they popped her character in when she was needed, and I don't remember her being there before.
I thought so too.
Yeah, she had I'm pretty sure she had like a small like.
Yeah, I think she became like the next master's schooler, like second.
That's the same movie.
Yeah, it was solid.
That's that movie. But
I'm
pretty sure.
Yeah, she's like, I'm going to teach at the school now.
Yeah, you could be right.
I could be wrong too.
I think you.
Looks like I better watch the Harry Potter movies again.
Yeah,
I like that.
I'd watch 8 movies or whatever.
Yeah. I don't know. With that said, I don't know if you're able to like, do you see them all as like a combined product, or you'll be like, this movie was overall more enjoyable than that movie?
So I think the later movies are better than the beginning movies. I feel like they're more mature than the ones in the beginning. Like the what was it, Deathly Hallows?
Yeah.
Part 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Right? Like I feel like that one, like part 1 is like a better movie than I've seen of all the other ones so far, because I feel like it's more grounded. They're not in the school the whole time. They're actually like doing things.
They're walking a lot in that movie.
They do walk a lot of woods. But I feel like there's more character development with all the characters.
I fully agree. I like those better too.
Yeah.
And they get into more fights.
Yeah.
Naked makeout session.
Yeah.
That was so weird. Yeah. And, when I was watching the scene with Rachel was like, wait, why they gotta be naked making out?
Maybe I won't watch those movies again. Oh my god. I don't remember that.
Really?
Yeah, I think
the smoke.
Harry Potter and the FBI watch list.
Yeah. I didn't know that J.K. Rowling was working on cuties before it was a thing. God.
Were they still under 17 in that movie? Because
they might have been older.
They didn't graduate yet.
That is true.
Graduated, right?
Oh my god. Eek.
So
that's true.
I mean, although Ron was like turning into Gollum in that movie.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Smeagol.
Original concept.
Yeah.
he was transitioning into Ed Sheeran. It's fine.
Yeah.
He did own an ice cream truck.
I know.
Oh.
Yeah.
Twisted Metal.
Yep. Yeah, that was his dream. He always wanted an ice cream truck. Then he sold it because he's like, yeah, that's a little creepy. Giving ice cream to people.
Especially because I kept going to school. He's like, I don't think the aspect of a truck is creepy. I just think the way I was doing it was creepy.
Oh my God.
Like, what?
Oh man, but yeah. So I think, yeah, definitely the maturity that the last 2 movies or so. I have to rewatch the last one, but even so, just seeing the like people are dying and stuff, and like I think it's more mature in that sense. A little more grounded. I don't remember seeing as much random shit in the Deathly Hallows that I did in every other movie. But yeah, so I will say, even though it's hard for me to get behind like magic stuff, I can see the appeal of it. I guess, you know what I mean? Like, I can see why people are into it.
I mean, there's earth magic, right? I mean, think about if I explained to you like a long time ago, I'm like, there's this machine that can clone your voice and change your face. That's just computer magic.
Yeah. But there's like set rules to it, right?
Is there?
I mean,
because you could be like, that's what AI is like, the same concept where there's supposed to be rules to it, but then you go, hey, start thinking this way. It's like, oh, whoa. So it's like, I don't know. What is in this world?
Wait, what?
We don't even understand what's in this world.
No, we really don't.
That's why it's easier to accept, like, when it's something fictional. It's like, okay, why can't there be aliens? Why can't there be some weird stick that makes magic?
But
we have sticks that make fire.
But I thought the sticks is just like a tuning fork
directs,
or whatever.
Yeah. And
not everybody needs.
And the 2 sticks I rub together, they tune the fire to the...
That's how fire works? I didn't know that.
Yeah, like that's how Aang does his fire magic.
Oh, that's how it works.
1 second.
Yeah.
Don't show this part. It's almost working.
Yeah.
Oh, golly. They're rubbing sticks.
Yeah.
The cloak.
Wow.
Yeah. It's like that aspect of life is stranger than fiction.
Yeah.
Sure, like whatever. They could be a flying car. They're trying to build a utopia of like flying city, so why not?
Well, they built like a
the
flying
Jetsons.
car. They did build that, but it was I forgot who built it, but somebody built it, and they showed like the concept of it, and they said like, yeah, but then people got to get a license to fly it, and it's like too complicated, and that's why we don't have flying cars right now. But yeah, it's possible. They've done it.
Exactly.
It's not sentient. I mean, if it had AI, maybe. If you're going to say, like... And, okay, so... So, the magic and technology, right? It seems like in the human world, they were surprised about the technology they had, right? Because I remember, was it Ron's dad or something? He was supposed to... He worked in the Ministry of Magic, but then he was, like, surprised about how things worked, like the telephone booth and stuff.
Yeah, in the Muggle world.
Yeah. So
it's like, wow, this is magic.
But they strike me as especially kind of like
simple folk.
They're like wizard hillbillies.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's because I was confused about that whole concept of like the human world and the magic world. Like,
where
are they
I come
separate
from,
worlds?
They're one and the same. Until the third move.
But yeah, how does that work? Is it 2 separate worlds, or is it one world? Because sometimes they're flying over to the magic world. Sometimes they got to go through some magic thing to go to the magic world. Does anybody know?
They're one and the same. I think they just had some centuries to figure out how to like build up their like barriers between the two to keep them separate. Like so someone doesn't just wander over into Diagon Alley and just be like, wait a second, magic's
like
happening.
Wakanda.
I'm losing my fucking mind. Let's nuke them.
Oh my god.
Like Wakanda.
Yeah, Wakanda was like a magical place, but then they had their water drums.
And they had their big magic barrier that you don't see until you figure out a
like
way
the
inside.
mascara, like the same thing.
Yeah.
But I didn't understand that because I don't think it was clearly described in the movies. Because sometimes they're flying over there.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're going through some kind of magic
platform
thingy
9
over there.
3/4.
Yeah.
Like there's so many different ways apparently they get there. Then I'm like, wait, is it the same place? Is it?
Oh
different?
yeah, like when they use the sounding rod and then they show up there.
Yeah.
The sounding rod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, you didn't watch the last one yet.
No.
Okay, yeah, they pull out a sounding rod.
Okay, so like I don't get it. So it's the same world? Is it the same world?
A sounding rod is a big rod that you stick inside your dick all the time.
You can fly there, or you can stick this rod in your penis. I don't know. You can
Harry, how do you want to get to Hogwarts this year? How bad do you want to be at Hogwarts?
How quickly you want to get there?
I got a faster method for you, Harry.
Was that the 16 years later part?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dad, are we gonna go to platform 9 3/4?
Yes, but there's another way to do it.
Oh, golly.
Oh, Harry, let me show you how the Master Wizards do it.
Stay away from him.
Hagrid lives with him now.
Yeah.
He comes out of the bathroom with no towel on.
Oh, I'm going to call you Little Harry Balls. I don't like that name.
Oh my god.
He lives with Hagrid and the spider. I thought the spider died. Oh, no.
No, that's my pet. Get over here, honey. The venom's sweet today.
God.
You know what I was so when I was watching, I was like, you know what I would love to see, because they make fun of Muggles so bad in that movie.
Yeah.
I'm like, I feel like I'm
Muggles
watching
suck.
like a racist movie.
It is. We're normies.
Yeah.
But I was like, I would love to see like, this is probably just because of the way I think of like, you know, the how we like talk up humanity and stuff like that. But I would like to see I think I was watching the one before I don't remember which one it was. They were on a bridge or something, and they were.
Make out bridge.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what it was that brought it up, but it was like, oh, I think was it when they were trying to like do magic on their own without the school, whatever, and they're talking on a bridge and stuff. There was something they said that I was like, you know what? Like, I would like to see a movie where it's like a modern day version of this, where like the Muggles have the technology we have today, where it's like you have AI, you have like all this technology that can compete with magic, right? So then it's like, oh, so we're making so much fun of the Muggles, but then there's like, if you look at the Muggles technology,
World War yeah.
World War Hogwarts.
yeah, like so, but like something along those lines. I think that's such a, like an interesting concept. It's like, because their worlds like separate in that aspect, right? Where it's like humans, they don't have magic, so we compensate with technology.
Yeah.
But now like technology is getting to a point where it's like, if you were to go back in time, people think we have magic.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but I'm saying like I would like to see that as a concept in one of these movies, to see like, oh, like I want to see like what's the ball throwing game?
Quidditch.
Yeah. I can never. Why can't I think of that name?
That's weird.
You choose not to.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's like I block it out.
Yeah.
But
You see 20 games a movie, and you just
yeah.
it's like, that's white noise.
I would like to see a game of Quidditch where it's like between the magic world and Muggles, but Muggles with technology. And I want to see like that competition. Like that would be
You
cool.
saying that, the only thing I really want to see is Harry Potter versus a fighter jet.
Whoa. Yeah.
like on his broom, and then the fighter
Tom
jet.
Cruise.
Yeah.
Top Gun in it.
Top Gun, Harry Potter.
Reflecto.
Yeah, try reflectoing this. He just bounce it. That'd be sick. I'm gonna pop this wart.
The Hogwarts school nurse turns into like the war nurse that kind of and like has to like
Kiss you.
thank you,
My
Auntie.
hero.
Yeah.
I'm feeling all better now.
Back off with your.
And now you get a good case of off the wall.
So just write it.
But yeah, I would love to see that. And then so
If you want it, write it. Make a story. It doesn't have to be Hogwarts. Magic users from the old days versus technology.
Just put on fanfiction.net.
Make it the magic that give it a good explanation the way it should be.
Yeah,
Use the magic of your heart.
But so the other thing I think I had an issue with was like they put all these kids in danger all the time.
Yeah, that's what the fun of Hogwarts is.
Like, I would not send my kids to that school. How does any of these parents send their kids to the school where they're gonna die? Where the competitions literally fight dragons and die?
Yeah, they turn out all right, except Cedric Diggory. I mean, whatever.
We don't talk about that one.
He's like Bruno.
They were all surprised he was dead, and I'm like, what are you talking about? All these competitions are there to kill you.
Look, I mean, like, if I went to school with a kid and every year there's a school shooting, I would change schools.
I mean, there are other wizarding schools. There's like, well, not the one that Cedric Diggory goes to. Don't go to that school. That one's good.
That one was Hogwarts.
Oh, shit. Yeah, fuck. Screw Hogwarts. Go to the one with the German kids that are like, yes, nobody dies here.
Yeah, go to Taint Smells.
Oh!
It's the competition of Hogwarts.
Taint Smells
Crop
School.
Castle.
Crop Dust Castle.
Go to the one with the flower people.
Yeah.
The girls that are like,
every moment, every day.
Yeah.
Yep.
How'd you do on your test? Splendid. I was gonna say the actual. I feel like the actual answer to that, which isn't, I don't know if it's a great answer, but you know how we're like, maybe our parents were like the first generation to have a quote childhood, and before that you were, you're like, you're 18, you're going to war now, and everyone just it's like everyone just kind of grew up and like had to work when they were kids and just become like grown-ups right away. And I feel like the wizarding world was sort of like set in those roots, and maybe they kind of diverged from like they don't even acknowledge that like Muggle kids in the Harry Potter movies. I feel like that's like, or maybe Dudley slightly, to just be like, yeah, these kids are having childhoods, but then like the kids in the wizarding world be like, no, you're gonna get up on those broomsticks and fall and break your bones, and it's gonna shape you into a great wizard one day. It's gonna, either fight hard or work hard for society. So I think that's
Like the concept of
the infrastructure of yeah.
I would like to see that plot though. That sounds interesting. Like saying like, okay, this like the reason why they have to be so hardened is because they're in a time where maybe there was just a war that just happened or something like that. Like that, I think would be super interesting.
Mm-hmm. The Great War of Merlin's Beard.
Yeah,
they always talk about Merlin's beard too.
Great Merlin's beard.
Yeah,
but he's like a real guy in that in the movies, right, or something, or in the books too. I don't
think so,
because I think they say like he's
like
from.
the first
Wasn't he like from one of the schools or like from one of the
maybe.
What do you call it?
I don't know. I just
Things or whatever.
I have to do a deep dive.
Yeah.
With my gillyweed.
Yeah. I gotta do a deep dive too. Google.
Thanks, technology. I mean, magic.
Yeah.
Thanks, magic.
My magic rectangle.
Yep. That's your wand.
Yes. TV, go on.
Yeah.
It only has a few spells.
Here's the Harry Potter Compendium. Merlin was a wizard who lived during the medieval era. Little is known of his past, but he was a member of King Arthur's court and arguably one of the most powerful wizards of all time.
Wow.
And he looked like this.
Wow.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh, golly.
Wow, you're so hot.
Oh, yeah.
Great Merlin's beard.
I remember making out with Merlin.
Oh, you're that old now?
You're that old now.
He's Dumbledore. He travels
he's
back
lying.
in time to make out with
I used the time tuner.
Yes, I've definitely fucked Merlin.
And then he like puts his thought in the pensieve and he's like, oh yes. That's why when
He just relives it.
That's why he didn't want Harry diving into it all the time. He's like, good holiday. That's my paw.
Stay away from that.
Stay away.
Like, Dumbledore, I can't believe you have so many memories. Sure. Memories. That's truly semen.
Just uses a cloak of invisibility as a comrade. Just clean myself.
Harry tries to put it on.
Yeah.
It's like all sticky.
Yeah, it's all the cloak of invisibility works everywhere except under a black light.
What's that white spot in the
Yeah,
corner?
that's why Dumbledore was able to see him. It was dunked in his semen.
I know that smell anywhere.
Staring at him.
That eye contact.
That's probably why he had the Phoenix. It's probably like he did maybe some not so great things and to say, we need to burn this one, Fox. No Fox forgiven.
How do paintings work in that world? Because I'm super
They're magic.
confused. No, I know, but they're people or are they not people?
They're
Or what does that mean?
That means they're part people. They're a picture of a person, of an image, of a thought, of a thing, and then they move.
Whoa. That was a fun sentence.
Yeah.
It's an image of a
And
thought
they
of a
thought of a move.
Because they act like
Yeah. They're sentient. They're like, when you turn on your phone and you press and hold in the
live photo.
Yeah, that's what they are.
But do you interact with them though?
Yeah.
It's not like a regular live photo.
That's all they remember.
I feel like it's the magical version of that Upload show with
So it's like
Robbie.
part of their consciousness
No.
or something?
Yeah. Well, it's at least a copy pasted thing. It's
Copy pasta.
I don't know. I could be completely wrong, but because there's a painting of Sirius Black, and Harry just like, I can't believe my godfather's dead. Now let me go talk to the painting of my godfather, and he talks to them like he's his godfather. It's like he has his memories, he has his personality, and like his wisdom.
Yeah, it's that that hologram of Kim Kardashian's
There's
dad.
more to it.
Imagine that, but the picture.
So
Kim Kardashian's dad, what?
Kim Kardashian. You remember the hologram that Kanye bought?
yeah,
That's
Yeah,
the pictures.
Oh,
yeah, that's true.
that was an easier answer.
So, Tony, I think
Yeah.
a lot of your problems, just Google your questions.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
There's actually like solutions for them?
Yeah.
Awesome.
The level of skill that they can interact with the witch or wizard, like if whoever is interacting with the photo, how much it interacts actually depends on the level of skill of the wizard painter. So if it's a painter who's really good at wizarding, then that's how more interactions can happen with the specific portraits.
So like the newspapers are just no skill then because it just repeats the same thing
Yeah.
like a live photo.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And the little fraud
Entry
cards.
level shit right
Yeah.
there. Those
Yeah.
newspapers,
Yep.
The little
Apparently.
wizard Pokemon
Daily
cards.
Owls.
Yeah, the chocolate frogs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, peasants.
Mm.
Every last one of them.
Every single one of them.
Yeah. Well, I'm planning to go to England and Scotland, and one of the appeals of Scotland is
Hogwarts.
the birthplace of Harry Potter.
Wow.
Yeah. Alex, when you went to Scotland, did you like travel all around? Did you stay in a city?
Unfortunately, I was in London more than Scotland. I didn't get to see too much of Scotland.
Yeah.
Because the wedding was like almost the
It
same.
was all around the
Yeah.
wedding. That's right.
Mm.
Okay. How many days did you get there in Scotland specifically?
One.
Just a day.
One day.
So you spent it in one of the cities?
Yeah.
Which one?
I don't quite remember. It wasn't Glasgow.
Edinburgh.
You probably.
It's
I
the
don't
only other one,
Yeah.
unless you went to like, I'm gonna go to a real niche one.
know. I don't know. But it just wasn't Glasgow.
Gotcha.
'Cause that's where they were filming Batman. I was like,
Whoa.
You're like, I can't go there.
yeah, because I need to go there. They're like, nah, you have a wedding to go to. I was like, fuck.
Batman needs me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man. Okay. So Tony, talk
Yes.
about, was it All Quiet on the Western Front?
Yeah, it was all quiet on the Western Front. So apparently this is it's like a book that was
I
written.
thought that was a sentence.
Yeah.
What?
There's a book?
It was a book that
Sorry,
was
it's a book.
made
Yeah.
into movies a couple of times, and now the most recent one was
Yeah.
like nominated for some awards and stuff.
I definitely heard of the older one.
Yeah, there was a couple of older ones. There was one in like I think 1976 and one before that or something.
Huh.
Whatever. But the point.
30.
Yeah. See. So
Wow.
it's about World War One. And it's about like it's the Germans during World War One and like the soldiers specifically. So it's
Whoa.
Guy
Yeah,
looks
so
like a
it's a
Campbell
little-
soup boy.
yeah, that
He
guy
is.
does.
so the most recent one took some liberties with the book, but I don't know the story behind the book. Rachel did some research on the book after the movie, and so there's some differences there. But it at least to me, it seems like the point of it was that they're like all these soldiers are going in and dying and stuff, but for like no reason, right? Like you're sending all these people in to die.
Yeah, cannon fodder.
Yeah, basically. And then so you're seeing the journey of like a group of students who was all excited to be part of this war and volunteered, and you see like how they like get effed up like the whole time. And so when we were looking for a movie, Rachel's like, "Oh, I want to watch this one." I'm like, You sure it's gonna be like one of those really
heavy,
depressing, heavy movies? She's like, no, it'll be fine. And then we're watching the movie, and then she's like, oh my god! I'm like, I told you. And so we make it all the way to the end of the movie, and then she's like, oh, that guy's gonna be fine, right? That guy's gonna be fine, right? I'm like, why do you think that guy's gonna be fine?
Yeah.
Do you know what movie you signed up for? And then she's like, oh my god! I'm like, I told you. But Yeah, it's just like it was a very, very heavy movie. It was long. I think it was like 2 hours 40 something minutes.
Right.
And it's just you're just seeing them like. Well, the
Suffer.
You see them die the whole time.
Yeah, basically, but like you do get to see like the certain moments where they're like having fun with each other, but it's almost like it makes you feel like you're there with them, which is I guess why you won so many awards, because you're going through all the tough stuff and you're seeing like how bad they react and stuff.
Is this an American movie? The
newest one?
This newest one?
It was dubbed in English, but I think it was.
Is it German?
It might be. I'm not entirely sure.
Well, the original title is Im Westen Night News. Matt, you could pronounce German better. I assume it's German. The small font under the big one.
In Westen nicht Neues.
Okay, so then it was German, I guess, and then so it's they dubbed over in English.
Cool.
It was very interesting. Definitely a heavy movie.
It's neat to see that the first one is from 1930. You know, before World War II started.
That's
like
nuts.
they were reflecting on like we have learned some lessons.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, World War II won't be that bad.
Yeah.
That's a direct quote.
It's what's
Cisco and Ebert.
What's interesting, Rachel, when she was looking up the book, they said that in Germany they actually burned the book. Like you weren't allowed to read that book.
Makes sense. Yeah, they were getting rid of a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Art, anything that would have opened up your mind a little bit to be like, oh, all right, this makes, this is where it's going to make us more advanced. And they're like, no, they want people to be kind of like sheeple.
Yeah, they're groans.
All in line.
And there's like there's one part of the movie where this guy, I don't know who, I don't know the politics of Germany at the time or whatever, but this guy was like, I guess, a high up guy. He looks like Dr. Robotnik. I was almost tempted to send a picture to you guys and be like, hey, this fan film of Sonic is really crazy. So he was in it, and his whole thing was like he likes war because his parents grew up in war or whatever.
Yeah.
Robotnik?
Yeah, Robotnik. So there's like a part where they're trying to settle for like an armistice between the French and the Germans. They're like, oh, let's end this war. Let's stop the fighting. And so they signed this agreement. And the agreement doesn't take place until 11 a.m. in the morning. So the German guy, the Mr. Robotnik over there, he goes and tells everybody, he's like, oh, yeah, you're all coming home after we do this last battle. So all the French people are thinking, oh, like everything's fine.
Wow, we're going home.
And then they send all the German people to go and
wipe
kill them.
out.
Yeah. And it was crazy.
No.
And then so one of the characters ends up dying like a minute before 11 a.m. So it's like they were sent in there for no reason. And it just hammers that point home. It was like they just sent it there as bodies just to, there was no reason to do it. The war was going to be over in like I think it was like I forgot the time period, but
slaughter.
Yeah. So it's crazy to see that stuff, and it's like it definitely makes you like look at war in general and be like,
war's terrible.
Yeah,
like,
like,
a lot of
what is the
people
point of this?
glorify it.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's like you can't glorify it if you've never really. I mean, that's why everybody left the Vietnam War. Once they saw the horrors of it, they're like, "Yeah, this is messed up. We gotta go."
Yep, exactly.
In the words of Knuckles the Echidna, none of this is good, Vector. That's why it's called war.
Whoa.
The wise Knuckles the Echidna.
Oh my God.
When we were kids, like taking American history class and learning about the wars that we our country has had, I don't know, or I guess even going into World War I at least, as like every war ends with a treaty being signed, and it's just like sort of like it always confused me even as a kid just to be like we're like everyone is fighting because of some fundamental disagreement and killing each other. Tens of thousands of people die. But then ultimately the thing that ends the war is some people get in the same room and shake hands.
Negotiation.
And are friendly with each other.
Yeah.
And it's the friendly part that actually ends the war and like improves things.
But it always starts with like bombed this place.
Yep.
Signed paper at end. It's like it's ridiculous. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And it even shows in the movie, like, the difference between all the soldiers that are in the front lines and the people that are actually making the decisions, where they're having a great life. Like, they're sipping tea, they're you know, like, they're drinking wine and stuff. And it just shows, like, the juxtaposition between, like, the people that
the bureaucrats.
It frustrates me because, like, you think about it, even, like, today it still happens, right? Like, you get people to sign up with all this propaganda. Like,
the presidents aren't fighting like George Washington used to before the country was formed.
Yeah.
You know, none of the people, I mean, maybe sure they may have fought in war or something. That was like one of the things that you would have to do in order to become president, serve in the military, right?
Yeah.
Even though
It was
now
like-
it's not really like
Who's
stressed
like
upon.
the first big exception? I want to say the wrong guy. Like, it might have been
Yeah.
JFK because he was like a pretty boy with Addison's disease.
yeah. But no, yeah, exactly. It's like it's and it's unfortunate because, like, you see that like, you see them in the beginning and you see them, like, how they're all excited because of all the propaganda, and then you just see how, like, fucked up they get, like, going through war, and then even when they're like, when we go home, I don't know what it's gonna be like, because they're like, we've been here for, like, years. I don't even know what it is to be be anymore.
Yeah.
PTSD big time.
Yeah.
And at that time, nobody understood it. So
Yeah.
everybody's just like, oh, these people are a little weird.
Yep. No, and it's just, I guess I'm passionate about it because, but it's frustrating to see, you know, the propaganda, getting people sign up for all these military things, and just for them to be cannon fodder for whatever war we're gonna end up being in.
And in the end, always the powerful people and the politicians end up fine. It's the little people that end up getting shafted.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's why you need to just make a pitch deck. Be like, hey, this is my plan for, you know, taking over. If you're cool at listening, and these are my points, and if you like them, you know, let's shake hands. If not, I'll bomb you a little bit.
Just a little bit. Just one of your small towns.
Yeah. Just give me a heavily populated area that I can just slam a nuke into.
Yeah.
It's crazy because
It is.
I was at the museum near like Stu Leonard's, the aviation museum.
Oh, the aviation.
And even there, they were talking about like one of the plans of the Japanese ships, like during one of the wars, was to bomb San Francisco and L.A. And it's weird that that's how they think, right? It's like, oh, let's bomb these populated areas with people, and maybe then they'll want to sign this paper.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
I mean, that's what happened with World War II. If it wasn't for those nuclear bombs, Japan would have never conceded.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah, it's
Crazy.
crazy. It is.
war sucks.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
We'll be right back after these messages. It's like following the in memorial reel. At the Oscars.
No, well,
Like, so anyways, Velma.
Right.
we just do it the way that they did when the Russia first bombed the cities. A little bit of chicken fry.
Oh my god.
Cold beer on a Friday night.
That was crazy.
2 jeans to fit
It's
just right.
insane. I can't believe what an option. I mean, all those Applebee options.
That was so funny, dude. I couldn't believe that. He's like, "Are you serious, guys?"
No matter what war, Applebee's will always be all right.
A little bit of chicken fry.
I was going to say, speaking of Robotnik,
Yeah.
I realized we didn't talk too much about that Sonic Prime show. Tony, did you watch all of it?
Yeah.
I watched the whole first season. Alex, Matt, did you watch any of it? Zippo the Hippo. There's also a character in that show.
That sounds like an awesome character.
Yeah.
for Sonic.
Zippo the Hippo.
Yeah, he's a lighter.
That's an awesome OC. Kyle's OC. Do not steal.
Oh, yeah. Must be original if it rhymes.
Yeah.
Okay. Spoilers for Sonic Prime if you haven't seen it.
For the first half of the season, right? Because
That's right. Yeah. Okay. I guess I'm just curious. I mean, I could say what I thought from the get-go, but I'm afraid to say something that, I mean, I guess if you disagree, you disagree.
Yeah.
It wasn't my favorite thing in the world. I was looking forward to it maybe more than I wasn't looking forward to it a lot, but I was like, oh, cool. Like a new Sonic show. I thought I do think that the show looked pretty neat. Sometimes they utilize it better than other times. But I felt like story-wise, I don't know, it just left me wanting more. And I don't know if maybe the show, given the opportunity, will get there. Because I guess they're implying Shadow will be featured more heavily, and maybe he'll bring the interesting elements to it. But I don't know if I'm gonna keep watching, I guess. Yeah, just the whole concept of they already all knew each other, and I feel like if a kid was going into this like wanting to learn about the gang, like this, maybe I wouldn't be saying this about too many other properties, but I was like, I would have wanted them to actually like get to know each other. Like I wanted this to be like sort of like a new beginning for the Sonic group, and they already knew and were very established with each other. Even the Rouge, the Bat was like in their gang, which was like it was jarring to me. So that was strange, and then from there it just becomes the multiverse of madness, and just they meet other equivalents of them that are all kind of the same, but still they're the only characters in their universe for some reason. It's a very small universe. And it just seemed like I just didn't care about the plot. They end up on a pirate ship for some reason, and it was just goofy and stupid and silly. And it wasn't awful. Like I was just like, it still had like a kind of charm to it, I guess, but it was hard to care about the characters. I like the voice of Sonic quite a bit. I guess I'll say that part. Much more than the video game voice of Sonic. I don't know if that's like I don't know if I should be like I like that one more than that one. I thought Sonic Frontier Sonic sounded very odd.
Whoa. All those vocal lessons.
That was a specific voice direction they gave him for that game.
Really?
To sound different. Yeah, it's the same guy that's been since which game did they start doing the voices for them?
Roger Craig Smith.
Was it Sonic Colors?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Where they changed the
Sonic
cast
Colors
out.
is the same voice.
Or it might have been the racing game.
Oh, the racing game. It was the first time. Yep.
Riders.
Sonic Team All-Star Team Racing or Sonic Team Racing.
It was one of the.
I said. That's fine.
No, that's the.
Free Riders. Was it Free Riders?
Yeah, Free
Riders. Yeah.
It's the one where you use the Kinect.
Yeah, the Kinect one.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on Prime?
Yeah. So I thought it was like a fun watch, right? I do feel like it was missing like the meaty elements that I like Saturday AM, like the Sonic Saturday AM. I'm like, I really wish it was kind of like that because like they have like Robotnik's taking over and stuff. I'm like, I want to see that, you know? Like I like the Tails character. I thought he was pretty cool. But yeah, it's like I feel the missed opportunities that he goes to every universe and it's team building in every universe. So it's like you're starting from scratch in every universe.
Dang.
This was also like TV, what they call like Y7. Like it was like it's like a 7-year-old could watch this show. Like they could have made it at least like PG. Yeah. To be like have like a sense of like Saturday morning cartoons. I think Alex could elaborate more on that, but just be like Sonic X, like did a lot more with that, for what it's worth, and just like a lot of the shows that we grew up watching. There's this weird cartoon that my wife and I stumbled on Netflix. Not to talk about it too much, but it reminded me like a little too much of it. It's called Bread Barbershop.
Whoa, Bread Barbershop.
It's a very bizarre. I don't know. I'm gonna say like it's like a Norwegian animated 3D animated show where this guy that looks. He is bread. Bread with arms and legs.
He is bread. he is bread,
and he has a barber shop. And like you are an ice cream cone, and you come in to get your hair done. But what he does is he like gives you like hot fudge and sprinkles and makes you look like glamorous ice cream. It's a very like children show, like minimal dialogue type of thing, and. The 3D animation style of Sonic seemed like if they gave Bread Barbershop like triple the budget, like this is what they could do. Like, look, there's shadows. I mean, it's like there's like no shadows in Bread Barbershop, and like you actually have like shading and stuff like that in Sonic. So I was like, good for them. They finally figured that stuff out. Yeah. And when Sonic runs, he has like the infinity sign on his feet all the time.
Figure 8. Yeah. What do you think?
So I think the show is like Y2 because AJ loves it, and I think that's what made me like be okay with the show is that he was able to actually sit and just be quiet and watch it. So I was able to watch a whole show of Sonic. So I was like, oh, neat. But I think the amount of times that Amy fucking goes
But Sonic, the tree. Sonic, this tree that we love. It's your birthday tree.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's gonna fucking show that. It's like I have the memory of a goldfish. I can't remember it.
Yeah.
It made me feel like the show was calling me stupid, like directly, like Alex, you're stupid. You don't remember the tree. I'm like, I remember the fucking tree.
That's what happened when we put closed captioning on it.
Yeah. I literally was like, bro, I remember the fucking tree. AJ remembers the tree. And that was like every time they did flashbacks, I'm like, oh, they're gonna show more of like how Amy and them like got to.
That's what I thought too.
Like, you know, like more character development. Oh, Tails or something, like, because it's very constantly harping on like him and Amy, especially when they're in that jungle or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the other thing about the show that like irks me is, as I mentioned to Kyle too, every world he goes to, it's like instead of doing character development and like flashbacks and understanding, he goes, "Oh, look at my fucking shoes!
Yeah.
Wow, these shoes are nice.
Yeah.
And these gloves too. Look at it. My gloves. I'm like, where's the show?
Yeah.
It's like, this show doesn't even have action figures of the gloves and shoes.
Yeah.
Why is there so much focus on the gloves and shoes?
Yeah, that's true. I didn't even think about that element.
Like that's what you do in like a Transformers show. Oh, here's the new robot. You want to buy the toy?
Yeah.
It's like, here's Sonic's new gloves and shoes. That's it. So that was so frustrating to me. And then that jungle episode where they had the two different communities. What was it?
The ones above and yeah.
Yeah. I was like, boy, they're dumb.
Yeah.
I was like,
Oh my god.
zero brains, no neurons firing up there. Like they are really dumb.
I don't think Tails talked in that one, right? He was like a fox.
Oh yeah. And then the pirate ship Knuckles, they had like, it's weird how the episodes end too, because it's just it's over.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh man, there's no like point or like cliffhanger or big story beat.
Yeah.
It's just like it's over.
Yeah, that's the scene in this episode.
Yeah.
So with the Knuckles one, a big focus was on Knuckles is our captain, and then they go on the ship and Knuckles is like nicer than you expected. I think was like
He was like the gentleman pirate.
Yeah, except he was like way worse because the battle he was just
Yeah. Well, gentleman pirate was kind of like that too. In what's the name of it? Our flag means death.
Our flag means death. Yeah, but it was more like he didn't pull off that cool persona. He was that the whole time.
Yeah.
So for Knuckles to be like, yeah, I sailed the seas and I did all this stuff, and then be like that, I was like, this is just silly. It's not so.
Yeah, it was very shallow. Water.
Ooh.
Well, good night, everyone.
Yeah, but it was still like a fun, silly watch.
Yeah,
and I think for like AJ. And stuff.
I get it. I was like, maybe maybe the people make this show know how to gear a program towards their age demographic, and I would have thought like, oh, you should have the characters meet, but maybe the Paw Patrol's already together, and you just need to.
That's true.
That's true. That's a good point.
Make them go through some stuff. So I don't know. I don't know if that's how Paw Patrol starts. Don't spoil it for me.
Oh my god! If Paw Patrol has a full origin story. That'd be fucking nuts.
I saw for some reason like someone I followed on Twitter shared like a clip of like the Paw Patrol movie, and they're like, "Why is this the most like intense scene ever?" And it was like the Paw Patrol. I mean, I'm like, it's one of the stupid dogs. One of the dogs does this like. May as well have been like a Fast and Furious in a car, but he was just a dog running and jumps from one building to another to try and rescue someone who was about to fall from like a burning building. I'm like,
go
Paw Patrol's sick.
Yeah.
A lot of people like Bluey.
Yeah,
I love
awesome.
Bluey.
I've seen a few episodes because of Rachel.
I've seen because AJ.
Is this Paw Patrol still?
No, Bluey's
Oh.
But it's another kids show, right? But
With
it's
dogs.
With dogs.
Like a Sonic Prime.
But what's interesting about the show, and I guess why a lot of adults like it, is because they deal with a lot of like, I guess, adult ideas and themes.
It's like subtext
Yeah.
of adult stuff.
Yeah. So like there's an episode where the sister of the main wife dog, the mom, I guess, right?
Mom!
So like the sister of the mom can't have kids. And so she's like feels really attached to like her sister's kids. And then but she feels really bad because of like the fact that she can't have kids. And then the mom has to explain to her kids like, yeah, sometimes you don't always get what you want and stuff like that. It was like really like, oh my God.
Yeah. When the dad relapses, that shit's nuts.
What?
No.
I almost believed it because I'm like,
I know.
show.
I know. Just, don't talk to daddy right now.
Yeah. Like there's a part where the kids pretend that they're pregnant or something, and then the balloon pops, and then the mom like holds the husband's hand because she had like a miscarriage. And it's like there's some really crazy stuff in this show. I'm like, oh my God. That's why so many adults put on TikTok all the time talking about how they like crying and stuff on it. I was like, oh wow.
Wow.
And it's a kid's show. So like you could have death as a kid's show.
Yeah, as long as the kids don't understand it.
Yeah.
Like the kids don't get it. They
Yeah,
just
they
see
don't
the
get
kids
it.
playing.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
then adults see the adult parts.
Yeah.
Or at least understand them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's interesting. I think that's a good. I mean, there's a lot of. I mean, I'm not a parent, but there's a lot of like interesting new concepts to actually like bring into like educating your child to be like more prepared for this era that we're living in than we were.
Yeah.
It's like everything that we had to sort of be like, this is happening, and then I like learn to adjust and to do your best to be supportive and be a good functioning member of society and not try and like regress. You try to keep moving forward.
Yep.
And I think that's cool and that's important. And we learn about death from watching stuff too, I think.
Yeah.
Sure, maybe in some form we maybe didn't understand fully as kids, but then you go through it once and you have like something to base it off of, and like it does kind of like ultimately teach you those things as well.
Yeah.
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 Sometimes you need that anchor point to have that context.
It's true. Big time.
Yeah. Speaking of solemn things, there's this show on HBO Max called VELMA.
Yeah. I never seen my childhood die faster.
Speaking of killing in childhood.
Oh yeah. Simulated death. Watching that show.
I think I'm only up to episode 3. What are you guys at?
6.
Yeah,
There's 6 of them out now.
Yeah,
They're doing two drops a week.
Yep, 2 drops a week. Yep.
Are you guys fully up on what's out right now? You watched all 6?
Yeah. We're caught up, right? 6 is next Thursday will be the next 2.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm super interested in what Tony thinks about these episodes because last week.
It's like this, right? So they definitely hint at how they're gonna introduce Scooby-Doo because it definitely seems like they're gonna introduce Scooby-Doo now, with the element.
The brain swap.
Yeah. I think that's going to be how they actually do Scooby-Doo. So be interesting to see how that happens.
I thought that was so dumb.
I want to see Scooby-Doo, so I kind of
You thought that was
going to set up Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, no, that's fine, but
Yeah. Did I think it was cool? No.
By
no,
any means necessary.
No. I didn't think it was cool.
Yeah.
I just want to see Scooby-Doo. And
so you didn't even care how they
I
get
don't
there.
care how they get up
By
there.
any means necessary to see Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, I just want to see Scooby-Doo.
They said
Yeah, what does Scooby do?
Yeah.
they said Scooby-Doo in the show.
Yeah.
But they said like how they got there, I personally would you might as well put the dog down if that's how they do it. I'm complete opposite way. I would like to see a good show. I think that's my problem.
And I feel like also, so there was something I didn't notice. I don't want to spoil it because you haven't gotten it.
I don't think I care.
Okay, all right. So then I'll say it. So I didn't notice that that guy that was in prison was also Daphne's dad.
Oh yeah,
you noticed
Yeah,
it.
I didn't notice that. I was like, oh, okay. So I was like, oh, that's interesting.
yeah.
But they kind of like skim over that whole. Remember, I said I was like interested in seeing what Daphne's like origin was, and they kind of just like brushed over it.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I was like, okay.
Yeah. What's the name of the show, Tony? Daphne.
But yeah, so I was like, I was disappointed with that whole how that all came out also, and then the Shaggy stuff.
Norval.
He's not Shaggy yet.
Yeah, it's Norval stuff. I what I did like about Norval was I felt like he felt more like Shaggy in the episode where he was trying to be cool, but it wasn't cool.
So I can't believe you said that. When we were watching the episode, maybe this is what made it harder to think that way.
Okay.
Because when he was wearing the jacket and the glasses, and I was like, finally, our Shaggy that we've been waiting for. Because I was like, to me, it was still like, still blatantly not the character that like I was making the joke that he was making a change. So I was like, finally, it's him. And to me, that felt still nothing like him.
No, I felt like that was more like him because it reminded me of what was the movie? The movie where where the ultimate Shaggy comes from.
Where the bikers and stuff.
Yeah. It reminded me of that, but it also
his fear was removed.
Yeah. But it just the idea of him trying to be cool, but even in being cool, it's like dorky and stuff. That to me was like Shaggy. That's why like when he had the glasses, it was like the bear glasses. I'm like, that's Shaggy. Like I feel like Shaggy would do that. But yeah, but then that they kind of don't do anything with that either. At the end of the episode, it's just like back to normal, whatever. So it's like, all right, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's no consistency of the show at all.
I have found no enjoyability out of this show, unfortunately.
When I was going to bed last night, I like couldn't fall asleep, and I was just like, this is when I would put on a Velma. I was like, I'd rather just keep my eyes closed and wait a half hour. And that's what I did.
That should be the review of the show.
Yeah, that's a good. Well, even when we're at your place after the eating and everything, and I was like, yeah, 2 new episodes of Velma came out, and we're like, anyway, let's look some anime stuff. It's like, yeah, that's cool. That's nice that they came out.
I will say, every time we watch that show, we have to put on either Be Cool, Scooby-Doo, or Mr. Incorporated.
You need a palate cleanser for a show.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Yeah.
When they had like Fred, Norval, and Velma in the same area, I was like, man, I should be excited that like, oh, this is like the characters and they're all like together,
like at the band thing.
Yeah. Like except for like Daphne and Scooby, I'm like, this should excite me.
Yeah,
but it doesn't.
No, because they're not the characters.
No.
And then they're eating the rug.
Oh god, yeah, the Nerds, which was like, you're trying to be this woke-ish show, but like also you're racist, and also you're like doing these stereotypes even for like band geeks and stuff.
Yeah,
I was like, even 22 Jump Street and 21 Jump Street knew like how to do school better.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah, so like that's something I noticed with the show. Is like, who's this show for? Like, who's the target audience of this show?
I don't know.
Right?
That's
like
it's people who hate Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
Apparently.
I don't think they got much enjoyment out of it either. Because, I mean, the show is like watching paint dry.
Yeah,
it's not funny either. It sucks.
Yeah, and so what I thought was interesting too is, did you see Gray Delisle? What she put up? She put up. So she's the girl who voices Daphne, right?
Yes.
In a lot of this stuff. So she put up a post where it was a picture of Velma, where saying it was like, it's the worst rated show on I forget it was IMDb or Rotten Tomatoes or whatever.
It's everywhere.
Yeah, and so she just writes, "Jeepers!"
Oh my god.
I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, and they introduced Jinkies into the show.
They introduced Jinkies.
They introduced it as like this whole thing of like, oh, now she's gonna say Jinkies.
Yeah,
and then they instantly like,
it's not even like she like earned it. You know what I mean? Like she's not even like the character yet.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but what's funny is that even when they introduce it, they have to like shit on it at the same time.
Yeah.
They introduce it, then they're like, are you gonna try to? Yeah, are you gonna try to make this a thing?
Yeah,
it's like, oh, dude.
Yeah.
I just think you were putting way more thought into this show than they did making.
Probably, yeah.
And I don't know. I guess that's it. That's my summary. It's just that they were like, I don't know. It still strikes me as in some way trying to capitalize or replicate what they did with the Harley Quinn show.
Yeah, big time.
But they're doing it poorly then.
And they somehow just kind of like crapped out this show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I feel like even the Harley Quinn show, like they make fun, but they're still the characters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and then even like they don't make fun of like for example, the Jinkies thing, right? Where they're crapping on Jinkies. Harley Quinn show doesn't really do that, right? Like they still have their character quirks, and they don't really make fun of it, but not like shitting on it.
It kind of feels like they're making fun with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
yeah.
Batman with the parents.
Yeah.
It's like and like even Damien being like Batman's kid. They instead of like this is exactly what it is. It's not making fun of it. You're playing it up.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, he's a kid, but how about he's a kid, but to this extent?
Right. They turn it up to 11.
Yeah.
Right. Their character quirks turn up to 11. Even like Commissioner Gordon and stuff.
Yeah.
Like
No,
yeah.
I'm afraid from watching the past 2 episodes that they're trying to do a Flintstones show.
Oh.
Did you catch that?
Yeah.
Those 2 Flintstones
Yeah.
things
Yeah.
across the episodes.
Yeah.
And the Flintstones look disgusting.
Oh no, they're gonna Velmaize the Flintstones.
That's what it looks like. They
They wanna do.
they like put up like a feeler out.
Yeah.
It felt like
That's true.
They should have just given it to Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah.
honestly, I would have
Rather watch
liked to
that.
see how he would have done a Scooby Doo
Oh.
show.
Now apparently Seth MacFarlane was trying to do the Flintstones.
that mystery.
Yeah.
Oh, do you know more about that?
Yeah, well, it was basically like he pitched it, and then they were like, "No, don't do that."
But they did the okay to Scooby Doo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand that. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
I
No,
don't get
because
it.
there's like Wilma's outfit is in one of the episodes,
Oh.
Yeah.
and then there's straight up like a cardboard cutout of Fred and Wilma
Yeah, and then there's also the Captain and Caveman
and the Jetsons.
and the Jetsons. Yeah.
So it looks like they're putting out like weird feelers of like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
maybe we could do this too. Maybe you'd want us to see us do that. And I'm like, no,
No, don't do that.
please don't touch that. But at the same time, I want the show to run for like 10 seasons.
Oh my God.
I want it to be 10 years later. I'm like, they still don't get it.
Apparently, didn't they say like the it was like one of the most watched shows on HBO Max?
Animated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they don't have a lot of new original animated content. And you're playing off Scooby Doo.
Yeah.
And it's getting hate watched.
Yeah.
And I fall asleep to it and keep rewatching the episode.
Yeah, see, that's
Remember, I am the reason they got renewed.
Yeah.
And I've only watched 3 episodes.
Like, people love the first 3 episodes. We got to do more.
This
Do more
guy
of
on
that.
Long Island.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, I don't know. So I think what disappoints me is that because this show is gonna go on for like longer than it probably should, we're not gonna be able to see a real like Harley Quinn-ized version of it. Like that's good, you know what I'm saying?
Never.
Yeah, so that's unfortunate.
This is what we have. That's what Matt said when we were watching it.
Yeah,
He's like, I can't believe this is the Scooby Doo we're getting right now.
yeah. Yeah, but no, I think it's unfortunate. It's like I don't know how much more we can harp on it, but it's just it's just disappointing because like I feel like if they were to actually take in what people are saying about the show, like if they were to do that and then make season 2 based on like people's what people are saying about the show, they could save it. Like there is the potential that if they listen, like Sonic, when they had like the original Sonic character, right, the character model, and everyone's like, oh, this is terrible and stuff. And then you listen to fans. Sometimes when you listen to fans, it actually works out in your favor. And that
I
wasn't
don't
the
think
only
that,
thing
yeah,
that
but I
worked
don't think
for,
they
but-
could do that with this show.
Why not?
You know, because you've already established such a hatred for like everyone already has this. No one else is going to come back and watch the show. You know what I'm saying? So many people are now hating the show. It's reviewed the worst show, all this stuff. Even if they do apply fixes, I don't think people are going to come back now. That was Sonic. What they did is they fixed it before it was out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this show is its own monster. I was gonna say there are shows that I know you guys are like have enjoyed that I think do like post season 1 course corrections. I'm blanking off some off the top of my head, but it does exist. It does happen. But yeah, it's like if a show already has sort of established itself as this, it would be almost a completely different show to do it, and then you might as well just do that other show. But I guess I don't know. It can go either way.
Yeah,
Possible that they could do it, but I'd be
like,
very.
All they would need is to end season 1, and then season 2, the characters are more like the characters. You have Scooby Doo there. You put out a trailer showing like what the new show is, and then you could get people back. I
have to admit, you have me curious to catch up and understand what's going on with, like, are they throwing a brain into a dog and they're going to like make Scooby Frankenstein? Ruh-roh? I thought you were about to say
Ruh-roh.
I felt Rut-roh. But dude, they introduced Scooby with an I.
Oh.
That's how they bring
Right
all
now.
this up.
Yeah.
It's like Scooby. Yeah.
Like a robot.
I have
Maybe.
no clue.
Like
We'll see. I don't
You
know.
actually like hit the nail on the head, so
I think he said that, so.
yeah,
At
but
least I
not
thought-
a robot. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, no. It can be saved if they play their cards right. Whether it
Scooby
will be
with an eye, like
saved-
it'll be a girl, I guess. Is that the?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh,
Oh
I mean,
shit.
my blank slate brain's bringing new concepts to you.
Mindy, is that you?
I don't know, because you know what? Like, only the hot girls are getting
It adds
killed.
up, dude.
Yeah. Oh, I don't
They're
know.
gonna put a hot girl brain in a dog.
In a dog.
Because you're like Scooby's
Oh my
coming,
God.
and at the same
Oh my
time you're
God.
saying these are characters only by name and clothes only.
Oh
you
my
know,
god.
Otherwise,
Oh my god, no, you just saw the whole fucking mystery. Holy fucking shit. Yeah, that's this whole Scooby project. Holy fucking shit. No.
Oh.
No, you're right, because
Oh my
the
God.
brains are all missing.
Yeah, they're all
The-
female brains.
And the whole thing is the
oh
brains.
god! So I didn't just figure out the Scoobies. I figured out the whole season.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's why Scooby with an eye. Because it's a female Scooby-Doo based on one of the hot girls in brains in the dog. Oh my.
Oh my god. Do you remember that meme I sent that was like, Scooby-Doo is not going to be Scooby-Doo, it's going to be Scooby with an eye, and it's going to be the girl that Shaggy dates?
Oh my god.
So what if, because everyone's like, oh, that's not the case, that is a character on the show, her name is Gigi.
Yeah.
What if they
take her brain.
they kill her, take her brain,
And put her as
and put her,
Scooby.
we figured
Oh
out
my
the
God.
show. Oh, this is no good.
They gender swap.
I apparently
Scooby-Doo.
accidentally figured out how
What?
the first season of VELMA ends, and
You
they
solved the
and they
mystery?
have all the details.
Damn.
Yep.
I was told Scooby with an eye at first. I was like, oh, like a robot. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, like a girl.
Mm.
And then they each had a simultaneous
Brain blast.
brain. I don't know.
Is it going to be Shaggy's
It was-
girlfriend?
No, because all the
Yeah,
hot girls'
all the hot girls'
brains are missing.
So
And
they're
the project is put the brains in
gonna and other things. So they're gonna put one of the hot girls' brains in a dog.
Oh.
and that's going to be Scooby.
With it.
Cool.
By any means necessary, Tony said. By any means
I
necessary.
mean, we kind of figured that was what's going on. We
That
were
a brain was gonna be
alright,
moved,
yeah, they're
yeah.
gonna-
Brain. Yeah.
But we
And
didn't
then we
think-
were also talking about like how it would be a better show if they just killed everybody in the show and put their
all
brains
their
in a new
brains?
body.
Yeah, that's what I joked. I said maybe Velma's gonna get killed and they'll put her brain in real
In a
Velma's,
real Velma's body?
Yeah.
Course correct season 2.
I don't know if that's course correct. I think that's scorched earth.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh shit.
Do you guys want to talk any more about the Last of Us show that's been going on, or
It's
is
cool.
it basically it's still a cool show?
Still good. Still good. They made a little changes.
Yeah, which I was like, what? Is
Yeah.
that necessary?
Yeah.
I agree.
They talk about like the spores, right?
Yeah.
And touching the veins of
Yes.
death or whatever.
Yes.
Well, did you see their explanation afterwards, after the episode?
Yes.
Yeah, we watched
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, it still would work. I mean, spores do fly around. They could have just used asbestos as like an example. Once asbestos becomes like it suspended in the air. It stays there forever unless you like filter it out.
Yeah.
I think they just were making the show. They're like, this would be a cool concept, and then they were like, all right, let's just do that.
Probably, yeah.
I feel like they were like, game developer guy, if we don't do this, we're not making your show. He's like, I don't care anymore. I just will make
Just
it
give
in
me
my
the
game.
money.
Yeah, give me the money and I'll make Last of Us 3 and won't use that idea.
And they were Rachel was right, because they said season 2 is confirmed to be the second game.
Wow. Okay. Yep.
So
there's
I guess
that.
they're gonna. I don't know. There's one thing that I was like, oh, that's real silly.
Yeah.
But that was it.
Yeah.
It's still a good show.
Yeah, still a good show.
I know Mark was like okay with
Yeah,
the
he was
changes.
fine with the change.
So
But it did feel
And
like a
he made the
change for
game.
the sake
Yeah,
of
he's
change.
the ultimate. Yeah.
But yeah, it did feel like a change for the sake of change to me.
and then after the episode, they're talking about it, and they're like, yeah, no, we did this because this is what makes sense.
It would make
Yeah.
more sense. It's like, how does that make sense? Like,
Yeah.
if you touch something, does it necessarily have a hive mind? Is hive mind's a constant thing besides like maybe with a bee? And even with that, it's like, don't they just run off of pheromones?
Yeah.
Sense?
So whatever.
Yeah.
We'll see. Maybe the new episode
Brain at
today
the
will
door.
like really destroy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be terrible.
It got renewed for season 2, then became Velma.
That was their plan all along.
Yeah.
Got them, suckers.
Oh,
It'd be
man.
funny if like the recommendations to me to like wait until I play the game is just going to change as you guys keep watching. Be like, you know, fuck it, just watch the show.
Yeah.
That'd be really funny. I feel like if it gets real bad, we'll be like, just play the game.
Yeah.
Don't even watch the show.
I'm like, like, immediately watch the show.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And I think Mark would feel that from.
Yeah, there's a disturbance.
Yeah.
I feel somebody watching the show and not playing the game.
Yeah.
I heard you speed ran the game.
Damn.
Oh, I guess. It doesn't
The
take...
game's pretty short. I
I didn't think it was that long.
Yeah,
I just
it's
ran around
linear.
punching guys.
Oh my god.
And then he played the game.
Yeah. I had to get my fix in first.
You're like Russell Crowe.
Yeah. The way Rachel said it was like, you guys didn't know what was going to be in the second episode, so you guys just beat it.
Yeah, we just ran around punching clickers and then beat the game.
I heard you didn't even fish with Big the Cat in that game either.
Oh my god.
No, yeah, I don't. Where was Big the Cat in that game? I couldn't find him.
I don't know. Okay.
Under your chair.
Frog.
Cool.
But, yeah. No, I was just gonna say, yeah. No, the game is good. I like the game. It has all the elements of what I said, like a AAA game has, where you partnered up with people and they have like the character development around. And I feel like Sonic should have had that, and you know, all the same points I mentioned before.
The one thing I wish they had in the game was to spread the infection you make out.
Yeah, that's what was missing.
No. That was hot.
Wait, so that's in the show?
No. What? That's preposterous.
That is how people react normally to. Okay, cool. So obviously Rachel couldn't be here this episode, therefore we are without any optimism for a week, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I happen to know firsthand that Alex did watch Batwoman.
What?
Hell yeah.
And I was present as well for it. It was right before we started recording this episode.
Yeah. It's my secret to watching Batwoman.
Yeah, that was his Batwoman-esque secret.
Yeah, I was like, when I don't watch usually like I'd watch it the night before or whatever, but
Yeah.
I didn't have time last night, so I put it on this TV while we're setting up for the podcast.
And then he closed the curtain.
Yeah, it's the best feeling is when I'm done with the episode, I could just cover the TV like it's a memorial service. It's like, okay,
Thus concludes.
yeah. This episode was about Duella Dent.
Oh, Duella Dent's in it.
Yeah, what do you know about Duella Dent?
That we don't know if she's Joker's daughter or Two-Face's daughter. She was part of the Teen Titans. Other than that,
Yeah, shut the fuck up about that.
Oh,
so what we're gonna what we're gonna do in this show is that we're gonna just make her like she cuts a smile into her own face,
Okay.
Because she's just that's how no Batwoman early fight, which we actually kind of like.
Oh,
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, the episode instead starts with her just cutting her face.
Okay.
She's like looking in the mirror. She's like, "Nah."
Was she listening to Hawthorne Heights during?
No,
Damn it.
I kind of wish though. And then afterwards, she a plastic surgeon fixes her face.
What?
Yeah.
So wait, she cut her face just to go to get plastic surgery?
Yeah.
No, she didn't want the surgery. She wanted her face cut. This is going to be a big motivating factor for the rest of the episode. So I'm going to have to. You're going
You have to get all the way back on that one.
No, you're going to have to get behind me on it and, and
okay.
approve of it.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is the whole motivating factor of this new villain that's come to Gotham. Batwoman is officially dating Cop Girl.
Oh.
Okay. Were they not dating before?
Her ex, right?
Yeah, her ex, who last episode I said was the only person that I know for a fact knows she's Batwoman.
Yeah.
I was wrong. She does not know she's Batwoman
What?
either.
This is insane.
Apparently no one knows she's Batwoman. I don't know how this happened.
Does everybody have like my memory? Is everybody in the show just me?
Goldfish.
Yeah.
So she's literally dating Batwoman, not Kate. Not like, oh yeah, she's going on dates.
Wait, with Batwoman?
So like Lois and Superman type of thing, like where in like Superman
Only
3.
in the superhero costume
Yeah.
present.
Yeah, because
Except Superman's a giant flying alien and he can do whatever the hell he wants. He's a girl where she's in a spotlight for a second. They're like, we gotta go.
Yeah, and isn't she on like the shit list of her father?
Her father, who also apparently doesn't know she's Batwoman, which I swore he did.
completely different in the comics.
Yeah, so in this, he's all the crows are after her. And the whole point of the episode is that these people are getting their faces chopped up, and they're like, who's chopping up these faces? Who's messing up these faces? And then they find a yearbook, and the yearbook's like all circled up and scratched up. So Batwoman's like, Lucius, I need you to... Luscious, I'm sorry.
Right,
Luscious, I need you to face scan this person, tell me where they are. And they're like, oh, shit, I can't do that.
Yep.
So she goes to the sister, and the sister's like, oh, yeah, I know that person.
Oh, my
It's
God.
literally this exact person by name. And the sister still is also the same. And this time, she's like, I'm starting a real estate business, and I need to know about this person and location and stuff. That's how she gets the sister to not think that she's Batwoman.
Quick question. The
Yeah.
yearbook didn't have the guy's name in it?
Girl's
name in it? Don't yearbooks have names in them?
I'm trying to think why. There has to be something. What you're saying makes sense to me. I'm vividly seeing.
I like that, a yearbook where it has no names.
Yeah.
Oh, no, we forgot the name.
I'm vividly seeing in my brain the
It's a
picture
mistake.
and the name under it.
Yeah, sometimes they do it on the side, and they're like, go left to right or whatever.
Why the hell is this? Anyway, that doesn't matter.
God.
Shut the fuck up about that.
They're the only yearbook club that doesn't include the names. Just
No,
the picture.
I swore it had the name under the picture. Honestly, I swore it did. But anyway, the Batwoman sister's like, but anyway, she's Felicity now. I don't know when this happened, but now Batwoman's sister's Felicity.
So she does all the computer stuff?
No, Felicity season like 1,
Oh.
where she's smart, but she doesn't do any tech. So I don't know why she's going to. Batwoman's going. In this episode, Batwoman and Kate go to her for information, which is really wacky.
That's very strange, yeah.
Yeah. And they're kind of asking about the same thing. And yeah, this girl's like hella dumb because she can't figure out. So it's Arrow season 1 where Kate goes up to her, is like, hey, here's my excuse for why I need your help on this thing.
Right.
And then somehow she's able to like miraculously help with this thing. Anyway.
Well, she's not a tech person.
Dang.
No, she's not. And the more that's said, the more I'm like, yeah, what? Because I think the more I watch the show, the stupider I get.
More complacent.
Yeah. The more I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Like, whatever.
It's like watching a season of The Circle.
Oh my god.
This is fine. This is how people talk. Hashtag. It's all good in the Gotham.
Yeah.
Send.
Yeah. Then they track down. They have like a whole map of like all these different things on the city that they're trying to pinpoint the location of this girl. And there's like a truck that they're trying to find. And I don't know how this works computer wise. They're like, oh, Luscious, the truck is pink, dummy. It's going to be super easy. So he presses a button on the keyboard and all the other lights go down. And then they only show the pink cars in Gotham or something.
So yeah, like an AI that's looking at pink.
Some super advanced shit, apparently.
ChatGPT doesn't even do that yet.
No. Also, when she was... anyway, yeah, I can't go back. I got to keep going forward. I can't go back to the yearbook thing. So once they satellite track this truck, they start like rushing over to it. Batwoman's on a motorcycle, so you have the Arrow-esque like motorcycle scene. And then the cop girlfriend pulls up. And they don't really explain how she knows where Batwoman is either. She just pulls up in the car and she's like, the Crows are going to be here soon. You got to go. And when she shows up, Batwoman is looking at this dead guy's face and he's got a smile.
Oh my god.
Cut into the face.
Oh, man.
And when she hears the girlfriend, she just puts the dead face back onto the steering wheel of the car.
Oh,
yeah.
It never goes back to it. Yeah.
No, she just like,
Yeah. As you were.
Oh my god.
Oh, he's sleeping.
yeah. And then they're like, oh, well, this truck has a factory like right around the corner, so we could just go to that factory. Then that factory has a vat of acid.
What?
So
And it was a makeup truck, so yeah,
Alright.
it was like this company's makeup truck.
Oh, so they're making skin peels.
I don't know, dude. It was literally just a big old vat of acid.
Mm.
And they have a girl kidnapped in the the cop girl hops on the motorcycle and then they have like
Does she say, I love this thing?
almost in her brain you could feel her saying
Her eyes said it.
yeah. They really do.
I love this
She's like,
Yeah, riding the pouring rain and not a drop of water hits them for some reason.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they pull up to the factory and Duella Dent's just chilling there. And at this point, she's like, I'm Duella Dent. I'm going to put this lady in this acid. And then Batwoman and the cop girl split up. And the cop girl kind of just beats the shit out of Duella. Kind of ties her up. Batwoman shoots a wrist batarang. What? Like Venom in Spider-Man. Like, and it goes into the cogs to slow down the lady being dropped. Right? But the gears are turning. This is the shit blew my mind. The gears are turning and it gets stuck.
Okay.
Right? So, but then eventually breaks the batarang into the gears because the pressure from the thing.
Yeah.
But for some reason, instead of going normal speed again, this shit just starts yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
She literally just like now plummeting from the sky.
Oh my god.
And Batwoman, who she could have done this in the first place, grapples across and grabs her.
Now I guess I'll have to do it.
I didn't want to.
Oh my god.
So then her and the cop girl are like, oh, cool, we make a good team. Oh, this whole episode, by the way, this is a subplot of her dad going around asking this one guy about Lucius Fox getting killed at like a sip and dip, they called it.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it was like some, basically 7-Eleven where he was killed and
Wait, Lucius Fox was killed?
Yes.
Duh.
Yeah, he was shot at like a Stop and Shop or 7-Eleven. And the guy, he's just walking around his office kind of being like, hey, did you guys like cover some shit up with the... He's like, no. And then the guy's like drinking a cup of coffee and he's at a coffee machine and he walks up to him with paper. He's like, this says that you guys like pretty much cover this shit up. Did you guys cover this shit up? He goes, no. And that's just happening over the course of the episode for whatever fucking reason. It literally just him pestering this one guy about it
so
over and
strange.
over.
Did you do it yet?
Yeah. Hey, yeah. Can you guys cover this up?
Yeah.
Like, are you planning on doing it? Or?
And now this is where shit gets actually wacky.
Mm.
Alice shows up,
Okay.
and she's not dead, but everyone thinks she's dead
Okay.
Mhm.
because of whatever stupid shit. And
Has she killed another person yet?
no, she
What?
she apparently saved Batwoman's sister last episode by transfusing her blood into Batwoman's sister.
Mm.
So I don't remember that, but I guess it happened. So now Alice is like, oh, I want like Scarface or Duella Dent to like it. She implies that she wants her to like be on her team.
Hmm.
So it kind of seems like she's recruiting her for a second. And then they cut to the scene of her going into her dad's office. Well, not her dad, the kidnapper. you
Okay.
know? Because the kidnapper got her Alice's brother, the mouse guy who uses mask all the time.
Oh my god.
Mm.
Yeah, which that was his special power.
Just wearing
Remember
different
that?
faces?
Yeah, he's
Oh,
like,
that was
that
established.
was his
Yeah.
specific thing.
Yeah, and he's able to like anybody.
Only him.
Yep.
So,
When he pulls it off, it looks
See where
like
this is going.
yeah. So
Man.
yeah. So the Duella Dent walks into the office and she's like, "You're the one that did the surgery on me. You made me not the same anymore, and I'm gonna take you down." And then immediately pulls off the mask and is like, "I'm Alice."
What?
Yeah, it was like, what was the point? Yeah. So, implying that when Alice had that previous conversation with her, it's like, I'm going to need something from you. And then they show it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what they show is that she cut off her face. She cut off Duella Dent's face and just she even holds
Yeah. A little, like, fake
Oh my
skin
God.
thing that has no resemblance of anyone.
and it makes no fucking sense. So then she kidnaps the kidnapper and brings him to this warehouse. She's like, "Where's my fucking brother?" And then she goes up to his face like this
What?
and just pulls off his face, and there's another face under him.
What the hell is going on?
Yeah. What?
I wish I fucking knew. I wish I fucking knew. And then the episode basically ends with showing the brother. He has a mask on him, and he's like getting intoxicated with fear toxin. And then the episode's over.
So now this is gonna be Scarecrow.
No, the fear toxin exists. They're just pumping him up with it to torture him.
Okay. All right.
The mask pulling thing was like some Scooby Doo ass shit.
Yeah, it does sound like very
It's
Scooby Doo.
like if the mask in Scooby Doo was just another human, and they just fucking were able to pull off another human's face.
My god.
It was wacky, dude.
That's very strange.
I'm so glad Kyle was able to see it.
There was also, like, the C plot.
Yeah,
There was a C plot.
Of the police officer lady who's in love with Batwoman, and I guess was Kate's ex or whatever. And she, I guess, has already thrown her life away with her husband, and she had the very heavy scene with her mother of like telling her the truth about like her sexuality, I guess. And I thought the scene in general was actually not bad, but she did use some kind of strange approach to like when I was in my college years.
yeah. She kind of says something along the lines of like, "Oh, when I was in school and this other thing, like from family and school," and I was like, "Lady, you're like in your full-time job. Who are you fucking talking about?"
You're not like a year out of school. Like I think you've been doing this shit for a decent amount of time now.
I'm pretty sure she was even in the military, right? There was that whole subplot with her and Kate, where they like were partnering together in the military, where they met or some shit like that. So
And they got kicked out because that's from the comics. That part's from the comics.
yeah, but the girlfriend says the girlfriend doesn't get kicked out.
Oh well, I think in the comics they were both kicked out because they were together.
And I think Kate says that they were. She says they weren't. So the other girl stays in and Kate gets kicked out, I think, in this show.
Okay.
But yeah, so she's like, yeah, when from school and family, I felt so blah, blah. And she's saying it like if it's current. And it was so strange to hear that because it's like, you are a full ass adult. And the mom has like a way over the top reaction too.
It reminded me a lot of like why I stopped watching Arrowverse stuff, where it's like, I almost feel like you start realizing the shows don't have enough material for like those long ass seasons that they get the pleasure of doing.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, the mother probably could have, if it were any other show, like there's no reason why she has to respond poorly to it.
Right.
I guess other than like, I guess that's how some families are. They're stuck in their old timey ways. And I guess, yeah, but it was just a choice. Like, if you have a show that you need to fill apparently 20 episodes of a season 1 of Batwoman's 20 episodes.
Jeez.
It's like, you think she's going to be like, I understand, and you're still my daughter, and I love you.
Right.
Or what? You're some kind of scoundrel? When you're no daughter of mine, or however she responds very negatively, she did. So I was like, yeah. I mean, I could be wrong, but I was like, I guarantee she'll give her like 3-4 episodes, or the end of the season, she'll come around.
Yep. So I give this episode 34 bats out of one giant bat made of a whole bunch of bats.
How many bats does that make?
Who's to say?
There you go. Bravo. It's another glorious
Thank you, guys.
Batwoman episode review, and thus brings us to the very, very end of the Pseudo Adults podcast, where we await our distinguished co-host Matthew to utter the single word.
Whoa.
That was a very sleepy whoa.
That tends to cut me off. That was a sleepy whoa?
That was a sleepy whoa.
But, did you guys hear that?
Yeah, I think I heard that.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that one.
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
We'll see you on episode 161, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Bro, I'm Alex.
It's Tony.
And I'm Kyle. We are Pseudo Adults.